Hello friends, today I would be talking about how to set up Testsigma, which is an open source no-code test automation platform. Testsigma claims to support automated UI tests for web, mobile and APIs using plain English scripts so that you can author as fluently as you think about your tests. In this video, we will see how you can set up the open source version for Testsigma on your local machine. I've tried it before, it was really quick. So let's go to the GitHub and see how the Testsigma repository looks like. So now I've clicked on this button and we are on the Testsigma GitHub repository, and it has some tagged keywords for testing, DevOps, automation, regression testing, web testing, cross-browser testing, and so on. The license for this repository is Apache 2.0, so you can read more about it by clicking on it and reading the detail, but from what I know, this is a pretty open and restriction-free license. The last release, if you see here, was 10 days ago, which reflects that it is pretty much in active development, and which is a good sign. So now let's go to the README and see what more it has for us. So there are different sections that are available for direct references in the README for getting started, docs, tutorials, discussions, Discord and YouTube channel. So going down, we see multiple options to deploy Testsigma. So there are three options that we can see here. One is to deploy on the Testsigma cloud, and then there are two more deployment options, that is through Docker or through a downloadable package. So as we want to set up this Testsigma open source version, so we'll either go with a Docker version or a downloadable package version. And for this video, I'll just go ahead with the Docker version. So I'll click on using Docker because I feel Docker and using Docker is pretty simple and straightforward to use. So the good part about Testsigma is that it has a very good and detailed documentation, as you can see, which has a lot of sections, and you can find out information about each and every aspect of Testsigma. So right now we'll focus more on how to set up Testsigma using Docker. So the prerequisites for this method is the installation of Docker and docker-compose. So I've already set up both of these on my machine. So if you too have these set up, you can directly go ahead. Else you can just pause this video, get the Docker and docker-compose installed and running. I'll give both of these links in the description of this video. So now as you have the Docker and docker-compose up and running, now the first step is to create a folder with the name Testsigma on your local machine. So I have already created such a folder for myself. So you can basically name it anything. Step 2 is now to download this docker-compose YAML file. So there is a link to this docker-compose YAML file, which I'll just open by clicking on it. And here is the latest docker-compose YAML file, which is available in the dev branch. So I'll click on this, and this latest docker-compose file contains all the services and images that the docker-compose would be setting up for the Testsigma on your local machine. So the key components are MySQL and the Testsigma server, and I'll copy the content of this file. So I'll click on copy raw contents. I'll create a same file with the same name on my local machine. So I'll just create a file. I'll just create a file with this name. So I'll edit out the extension, and I have created a file with the same name, docker-compose YAML. It asks me to change the extension, which I have said yes, and I'll just open it through Notepad and paste the content. So my docker-compose.yml file is now ready. So the step 3 is to now run the Testsigma server. So for running the Testsigma server, what we have to do is we have to run a command, and that is the command should be run on this directory level only. So I've already a PowerShell up and running at this directory level. So if you don't have, you can just use change directory and switch to this directory. And now I'll run the command to set up this docker-compose. So that is docker-compose up-d. So now I've triggered this command. So once this is done, you will get a message that starting Testsigma server done. And now we can quickly see if the Docker is running or not. So we can just run the command docker ps. So docker ps to see if the containers are up and running, and we can see containers up 20 seconds ago and 59 seconds ago in healthy condition. So things are up and running. So and if we closely look in the folders here, I mean we see two new folders that have been created. One is the db_data and another is the ts_data. So these folders are created to store the Testsigma application data and the MySQL data. So that's done. So now let's go to the step 4, which is to install and start and configure the Testsigma agents. So the server is now running, and now we have to just configure a Testsigma agent. So we'll go back to the Testsigma repository, go to the releases section again. We can click on the latest release version. So I'm taking the latest release as of now. So this number will keep on upgrading with the time to come. So as I am on Windows system, there are multiple options available, but I'll select the Testsigma agent for Windows. So I'll click on this to download this. So now this is getting downloaded, and I'll quickly wait for the downloading to complete. So now the agent has been downloaded. I have copied this from the downloads folder to this Testsigma folder only. I'll go inside this. There is one more Testsigma agent folder, and inside this I see some jar files, batch file, sh, stop. So what I'll do is just I'll click on this start.bat. So this is a batch file which will start the agent on my local system, and as soon as I start it, I get a Windows security alert pop-up that it has a Windows Defender firewall has blocked some OpenJDK platform binary. So I'll allow access so that this can run smoothly, and I've clicked on allowed access. So this is working, and now there are some logs that you can see which has started this. So the agent is also up and running, the server is up and running. So now what we will do is we'll go to the browser, we'll connect to this connect the agent and server. So let's go to localhost and 443 and on HTTPS. So I have gone to this address, the connection is not private. I'll go to advanced and proceed to localhost unsafe. So this is because of this certificate not being secure, so that certificate is not valid. So this issue is because of that, but we are right now running it on a local system, so that's fine. It asks to create your Testsigma profile, so I'll just create my own Testsigma profile, and I'll give my email address and username and password. So all this is done, and I'll click on go to dashboard. So now I am on this Testsigma on my local machine, and now the last step that I have to do is I have to connect the agent that's running with this server. So I'll add an agent, and the beauty with Testsigma is that it automatically detects the agent on this machine. So I'll click on save. It's looking, it's registering, and now the agent is up and running with the available browsers on my machine, which is Firefox, Edge, Chrome. So things are sorted. So that was part 1 of the video, how to set up. In the next part we'll see how to run author a test through Testsigma. So that's all for today. Thank you.